Welcome to a very special episode of The Extra Point, where we, once and for all, give an answer to the question, which sport has the best athletes? I'm joined today by Zack Phillips, Caitlin Smith, David Ingber. We've got 10 sports and 7 categories. Top score can get a 70, lowest score can get a 0. You know how it works. Let's jump into it. All right, the 10 sports that we're going to be discussing are, in no particular order, boxing, ice hockey, football, basketball, baseball, soccer, wrestling, not WWE, martial arts, tennis, and gymnastics.
And golf.
And not golf.
Not golf.
Mini golf.
But mini golf is on the list.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go through what did everybody get for boxing?
Okay, should we do trait by trait?
No, you can just overall, and if you like anything pops up. Like for example, I'll go first. Like I gave boxing a 42. Now I went a little bit lower. I gave him a 3 for analytical aptitude. You big dummies.
It's pretty simple. I mean, you punch the guy that's standing in front of you. There's not a lot of
They call it the
intelligence
sweet
left.
science. There's no other sport that has a nickname with the word science in it. Okay? It is like there is so much analytical. These guys are doing 1,000 computations a second.
What did you give
No,
them? What did you give them?
I give boxing was my #1 overall sport of the 10. I gave it a 50.
I like that, Ingber.
No.
And marked mostly by it's 10 for endurance. If you don't give it a 10 out of 10 for endurance, you guys have never punched a bag for 60
I'm 10 out of
seconds.
10 for endurance on boxing as well.
Okay, first of all...
Oh, I'm sorry. You've like thrown a pitch. Wow, that's really tiring.
We're just
You ever
gonna get
hit a
right
bag?
into it here.
Do you ever try to get punched? Okay.
Yeah,
it's
Why would you try to
exhausting.
get punched? What are you like a fight club?
When like
You
Muhammad
are
Ali was training, they would
self-destructive.
like swing a baseball bat at his
Yeah,
ass.
I know, but that's...
You
okay.
try to get punched to
No,
protect.
I gave it high on endurance, but the analytic aptitude, come on. I mean, the fact that they call it the sweet science that's like,
think
thou
that's
doth
ironic?
protest too much. Other sports don't do that because it's obvious that it involves like analytic aptitude. Boxing, like anything that like some drunk asshole can do outside of a bar, that does not require like huge amounts of
Oh,
intelligence.
I've had a home
fucking-
run derby hammered.
That's what
So,
I'm saying.
you
Drunk
know.
assholes
Yeah,
play
but you
baseball
are-
outside the bars.
We're also going to put Zack Phillips' home address in the show notes in case you boxers want to show up and take
Yes,
on.
all pugilists, please come. But-
So what were the overall scores? What did you get for boxing?
So I fueled mostly by a low score for analytic aptitude. I gave it a 40. And these are all, I was a little bit harsher all across the board.
They'll balance out, yeah.
Obviously, endurance is high and strength is high, but also I went really low on agility. I know you have to duck and move and
It's
stuff.
it's
but
bob and
most of
weave.
what the
It's
sport
bob and
is.
weave.
I mean, honestly,
All
you're
right,
moving
Dave.
in like
Coming
a
in real high.
5-foot radius.
All right, a 40.
Like,
I gave it a 42.
I'm 63 with a 10 in agility. Wow. I am like my Midwest grandmothers, just A for effort and getting out
Good
there
for
and
you.
giving it all you can.
What was your number, Dave?
I gave it a 50.
All right, 50, 60,
63.
63, 42, and a 40. Our wonderful producer, Brandon, is back there tallying the numbers as we go, so we will have our ultimate list later on. We're moving on to ice hockey. Zach, what did you have?
So I had, and this is one of my higher scores. I should have had it higher, but I had 47.
I have 47.
I think
we're making ground here.
a little. Yeah, the hand-eye coordination, I gave it a 10. No
I'm on
other
10.
athlete could, in any other sport, could play ice hockey. You got like the fact that they do all that stuff on skates is amazing, but I gave it low on nerve. It just they seem so leisurely. They're just kind of like skating around out there.
Yeah,
It seems
free
like
skate.
a fun time, and then they take line changes like every 30 seconds. So I docked them a little bit for that.
A fun time.
It's like in basketball, when it's the last play of the game, like it looks different, it feels different. In hockey, it's just kind of like the game just ends and the horn blows, and you're like, all right, well, that was the
There's
end of the
never
game.
a moment
clutch
where you
moment in
have to
hockey.
like stop and then sprint to the other side. When that happens, the hockey guys have to like swing around, swing around the goal and get going the other direction. You know what I mean? It's just like it seems very leisurely, but I still gave it like a very high. I think it should be one of the highest.
Yeah, I don't know if like Gretzky was like super leisurely out there. I think it was pretty aggressive and agile, and
an
agree with
outlier.
the hand-eye coordination on the 10. I did go lower for analytical aptitude, but with agility, strength, and endurance up there, like you said, being able to skate. Also, I believe hockey refs are the highest paid refs because of that skill.
They have, yeah, they
Oh,
have to
that's
skate and
that's
be
a
able
good
to see
separate
everything.
category.
Yeah.
Most
They did
athletic
dance
refs.
forward and
and
refs.
backwards.
Yeah.
But I gave it the old Kate Smith 64. Way to get him, guys! Proud of you.
Wow. Did you give anything higher than a 70? Were you just like,
No,
give
no
some
one got a
11s?
perfect 10. No one, but we're high 60s here.
Okay.
I knocked ice hockey a little bit down. I gave it a good score overall, but I just wanted to point out with like endurance, I know how tiring it is to play hockey, but like the fact that they can just cruise out of the ice at any point and get, overtaken by another line, it's like, come on, you can't do that in other sports where you're just like, in basketball you have to wait till a stoppage until, the coach subs you out. In hockey, you can just kind of like cruise onto the bench. Like, I don't think so.
I get it. 2 47s, 64, and I gave it a 44. Very low. Very low.
Wow.
All mine were very low, though. Moving on to football.
Rob's not impressed.
Not impressed, yeah. Football. Dave, you want to go first?
I gave it a 48.
Okay.
I just don't want people saying like, oh, agility, Barry Sanders. Of course, Barry Sanders needs agility.
Sure.
But most guys on a football field don't really need agility.
Right. I agree with
10
you.
of the guys are just smashing each other in the face.
Yeah.
Those are
That's the
doing
tricky
pirouettes.
thing about football is it's like you got to balance. Like on the one hand, you have Odell Beckham and Barry Sanders, incredible agility and hand-eye coordination, and then you have the buffoons like in the middle of the line.
Ooh,
like,
wow. For you football
I'm being
guys in the
silly,
trenches.
But they're just big. They're big dudes
Again,
where
address
strength
will
is
be in the show
huge.
notes.
Someone's got a tight end about this sport.
Okay, easy.
First pun. We'll have a pun tracker
Please
in the
keep
top
track.
right.
No, I'm just saying it's a huge difference.
Yeah.
The linemen, the agility and hand-eye coordination, I rated very low, but of course the strength is a 10 almost. For
Overall
me.
score?
50.
50. I had a 45. All right.
And you played football.
I did.
Kate Smith gave it an 80.
You know what? I actually, this is one of my lower ones, surprisingly, and I think same reason as Ingber. I had a 48, same score as you. And I was thinking about that offense, defense. Of course, you have he runs a 40. He's great. He's knocking the crap out of someone else. So you have two different ends of the spectrum, which made me go like, I'm going to put like a 5.7 just to get a median there, which brought my average down.
All right, I get it. All right, let's move on a little bit. Basketball. What do you got, Kate Smith? You're a basketball player.
I'm a basketball fan, basketball player. This is one that I thought would come in number 1. It was number 5 for me. I think what brought me down was analytical aptitude.
What? Also dummies. Sure, I get it.
And but very high with agility, nerve, and endurance.
Overall score.
Overall score 62.
All right. 62. This is one of my lower ones.
Scales are-
504.
well, I watched the best basketball player of all time play for the past couple of years, so I'm just used to seeing
Kyrie Irving.
seeing great.
Ante
Oh,
Zizic?
yeah. LeBron.
Dave, what'd you have?
I gave it a 49. This was my second highest score.
Okay. 49. All right, what'd you have?
Wow. I also had 49, but and I got there in a different way. I had analytic aptitude pretty low because, again, like basketball, there are like 3 plays. It's like pick and roll, ball screen. Like there's, compared to a football play,
I want to
there's
sit you
nothing.
down with like Greg Popovich or Brad Stevens, and he's
No,
going to
but
demonstrate
honestly,
to you
there
the way an
are
offense
3
is run.
plays. Every offense runs like the same plays in slightly different ways.
All right.
And also I docked him a little bit for agility just because, Russell Westbrook, incredibly agile, but like, let's be honest, we were talking about this the other day. If you're 7 foot tall, you can play basketball in the NBA probably, no matter how.
I disagree.
No matter how goofy you are, you're gonna
I
get
was
a
a
shot.
7-foot 8th grader, and I stopped being tall because I wasn't interested in playing in the NBA.
There you go.
Well, that was your
7-foot
choice.
high schoolers are getting ACL surgery and they don't make it. You have to be super agile to be a basketball player.
What, you think
With
Sean
height.
Bradley was agile? He was picked number 2 overall in the draft, right?
He was a
Just
mistake.
because he was 7.
Let's not.
Sean Bradley was a mistake. That's the pull quote. I had 48 for basketball. We got to keep moving. Baseball. Zach, obviously, why don't you kick it off? Because I'm sure you had the lowest for baseball.
No. So I
Surprisingly not.
play baseball. I love baseball. I knew it would be number 1 for me going in, and it was 56. Now, I just want to say, I know people love to hammer baseball, and the thing that does it is that picture of John Kruk on first base, looking pretty fat. And people love to say, like, baseball players aren't athletes because look at this guy. He doesn't look like an athlete. But the thing is, athletic skill is mostly about hand-eye coordination, and there's no skill that's tougher in all of sports than hitting a baseball. It's coming in at 90 miles an hour. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. Oh my God, what pressure!
Yeah.
The pitcher has to hit that little strike
It's like
zone,
you
and the
make
batter.
a play, and then you or you don't make a play, and then you wait like another hour for the next play or something like that. So I
And
get that.
football's got long breaks in between
30
plays
seconds,
too.
but it keeps. We got a clock going. Baseball was one of my lowest.
Oh my God, you guys are ridiculous.
I give it a 44.
What?
Kate Smith.
Yeah, I am not the PTA mom on this one. I'm my lowest as well with a 33.
Whoa,
What?
That's
Yeah.
a huge swing.
You guys,
33.
there's something wrong with the metrics here.
I'm glad that you gave it a 56 because I gave it exactly half a 56. I gave it a 28.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are just wrong.
Oh my God.
This shows.
Oh, baseball.
Oh yeah,
Big.
This is sad.
agility
It's
really
sad.
in baseball is so necessary.
All right, we're moving on. Baseball. I'm so sorry, Zach. Condolences.
I mean, you guys are wrong. I'm
Sure.
sad for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, thank you for your pity. Soccer. Kate Smith, what'd you have?
Soccer, I had 59. I think endurance, agility, hand-eye coordination, those are 10s. Very high in the other categories. I think if you're a soccer player, you're a natural athlete, and I'd want you on a baseball field, I'd want you on a football field. There's a lot of versatility with a soccer player.
Makes sense.
This shows a problem with the metrics. You called it hand-eye coordination, not technical skill, which I think is kind of what the implication was. I gave it a 0 for hand-eye coordination. 'cause it's
Wow.
soccer.
It's really good.
10 for semantics.
So it gets a 42 overall. Probably if you had just like tweaked the names of the categories, it probably would have been more like a 49, 50.
Sure.
But I'm sorry, it's a 42.
Yeah, there's no way you could have
Take
adjusted
that,
that in your
Neymar.
mind. Wow. All right. Not a big soccer fan. I gave it a 45. Tied for 6th. Endurance was a 9. Hand-eye coordination was a 6.
It's a 0.
Not very good. Yeah, 0 for
Yeah.
some people.
There's a goalie.
What'd you
I
think?
gave it a 49. It's one of the highest for me. I think, yeah, the hand-eye coordination is huge. They can do all that with their feet. I docked them for strength. Everyone loves to talk about how hot those soccer players
fit,
are.
but they're not
fit,
strong.
But yeah, the downside of fit is you're not strong.
I
You're
don't know about
lean.
that. I disagree with that. I think lean
muscly.
is strong.
It's like the people that go to the gym and just do bicep curls. They're like, yeah, I look amazing in
No
the mirror.
cardio.
All right, moving on to wrestling. I'll kick us off. I had a 46. Analytical
Wow.
aptitude, I only gave it a 4. Hand-eye coordination, I only gave it a 3, actually. I dropped it down a lot. So once you get a hold on somebody, you're just trying to use your strength or possibly your speed. So I gave it a 46.
Yeah, I gave it a 42.
Okay.
It was a little lower for me. And this is maybe a disagreement, but with speed, there's like quickness. In my mind, though, there's not a lot of speed in wrestling because the whole area that you're fighting in is like such a tiny area. You don't have to cover much area. So there's a lot of quickness involved, but like, come on, you're moving like 2 feet in like an hour.
Yeah.
So.
I gave it a 36.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really docking wrestling mostly because it was just a thing that you did when you were a kid, when you got mad with your friends. Like, no one was
Yeah.
really punching each other. It was just kind of like friendship, mad at each other. You kind of wrestle each other to the ground. You're like, that was something that like kids can do. I'm sure there's like more technical skill
All your
to
sports,
it.
like with basketball, hey, just go out there. You're like, let's shoot some hoops. Wrestling, I don't know, let's wrestle. All right, let's get some
Basically,
snacks.
if you did it in your childhood, you're docking it.
Yeah,
But it's like, I'm
yeah.
sorry, if you're out there, you're saying that like Rulon Gardner is a better athlete than LeBron James. Like, check your metrics, my friends.
Yeah.
That's fair. What was your score?
36.
36. All right.
This was a 51 for me, which was on the back end, number
The
7.
lowest possible score.
That's low still because I think that wrestlers are very quick. Maybe like we were saying, quickness versus
You gotta shoot.
speed.
Shoot,
Correct.
yeah.
I gave them high scores for endurance, and I also think that wrestlers, a lot of them go on to be marathon athletes, and they have a lot of longevity with their
Yeah.
athletic career.
I remember in high school, like when the basketball team was practicing, the wrestlers like they started every practice by just like running around for like an hour.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all they did.
Wearing
Yeah.
full sweats.
High
Well,
endurance.
yeah, just like the
China.
diet of a wrestler
gross.
and the sweating it out. the
You're
craziness.
gross athletes.
You're gross
You're the
athlete,
grossest
yeah.
athletes
Hey,
by
we should have
far.
had diet on
10
here,
for
but-
ringworm and 10 for
Yeah,
cauliflower.
yeah. Get your weird ears out of here and your weird diseases.
Can you say that?
I can say that.
Say that?
Yeah, on the extra point, you can say anything. Martial arts, Kate Smith.
Coming in at number 1, as I said, martial arts I gave a 67 out of 70. Again, this is a sport I know nothing about, so I was erring on the side of, wow, I don't know how to do that.
Wow.
So we got a lot of high 10s. There's a lot going on, and I wouldn't say that I would put them on a football field or a basketball field if I was captaining a team, but I do think that they're extremely athletic people.
Sure, Dave?
I give it a 46, so like right up there with some of the good sports. I gave it a 10 for agility, obviously, a 10 for analytics, because it feels like a very cerebral sport, you know, it's like years and years of study. But I really brought it down for nerve. I give it a 2 for nerve, just because I feel like the best ones, they do that like Zen thing where they're like, they get into their, you know, sort of like yoga mode, and they're just like able to like see through the matrix.
They close their eyes.
Doesn't
and
feel
they like a bat.
Can fight 30 guys like Yakuza bosses at the same time.
That's how, I get it.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna say it was another like if I did it in my childhood, you get knocked. You know,
did
little
chop.
kids.
You put your
get to-
Karate Kid gi on,
Yeah.
and you just kick your dad while he's cooking breakfast. I get that. Yeah.
So I actually misunderstood. I thought this was mixed martial arts. I was thinking MMA, but my score was 44, kind of in the same
You're just
realm.
gonna
I
give it a
docked them a
score.
little bit for endurance because it's
Having
only
analyzed
3
it
rounds.
wrong, you're just going to continue going with your own score, though.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
For martial arts, I gave it a 49. It was top for me. I docked for aptitude. Hand-eye was fairly high. Endurance was fairly high. Strength and speed also, very high. I was like, I don't know much about it, so I feel like it's very hard.
Yeah.
All right, tennis. Zack Phillips.
So this was up there for me, 49.
Me too.
I docked it a little bit for speed. Again, the court is so small. You hear people talk about like the speed of Federer. And I know it's very hard. What they do is impressive, but it's kind of hilarious to me that they talk about how fast someone is, where he moves like 2 feet to get to
It's
a
more of
shot.
a quickness thing. But
It's more of a quickness thing. So I docked him a little bit, but man, the hand-eye coordination is a 9 for me. So hard to do what they do. I get that. It's up there for me.
I gave it a 46, which is high for me as well. They were tied for 4th. Kate Smith?
This was my silver medalist with 64.
All right.
I papered my walls with Andy Roddick as a teenage girl.
We all did.
And then I started to realize that I think tennis players have the most underrated leg muscles. They're super, swear to God, the way they serve, that 140 miles per hour, that's coming from down
It's
here.
all thighs,
And if
Andy Roddick specifically has talked about that. He calls himself chicken wing arms. He's got like really skinny arms for a professional athlete, but it's all like hips
their
and
power
legs
comes from their
technique.
trunk, and
Thunder
I think
thighs.
they're great athletes.
Yeah.
Dave?
I agree. I have a 49, tied for second with basketball on my list.
All right, tied for basketball. Okay, so let's move on to the final one, gymnastics. Zack Phillips, what do you got?
So I maybe I have this a little lower than other people. I had 44. Again, like I docked them a lot for speed, just because I think a lot of gymnastics they're sort of dancing around a little bit, and I really hate that. I think that the floor exercise should just be like
runs.
do a tumbling run, stop, walk to the corner, and do another one. I don't like the dancing.
You just
it's
sound like
very
such an old man
leisurely.
right now. You're just dancing out there, huh?
I think someone's just jealous.
Start
Too
over.
much. I wish I had the
Get a
the
ball, get a
freedom to
bat,
dance
do something
like that.
while you're out there.
And the analytic aptitude is smaller, but nerve is way up there. Man, how hard is that?
Gotta be clutch.
You get like one shot every 4 years for an Olympic athlete.
Yeah.
You gotta go out there and like nail a vault or nail like a tumbling routine. That's hard. So
Again, like I said before, it was tied for first for me. I gave it a 49.
Wow.
Yeah, I had Simone Biles in my head, and I was like, she is an amazing athlete. She's incredible.
Agreed.
Yeah. What'd you get?
This was my tie for 6th. I thought that strength, speed, agility were up there. They upped my average nerve as well. Just great athletes, but like Zach's saying, I have to piggyback off of a lot of dancing. I understand.
Too much dancing.
Too much
prancing.
dancing, like the rings, like the
Too
bars.
much dancing, too much prancing.
Yeah.
All right.
I give it a 41, like a solid score. Again, I knocked it down for analytics as well because I feel like they just become machines. It's like the coach is like, this is the exact routine you have to do. Boom, 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 boom. They do it in succession. They're perfect at it. It's not like a quarterback that like has to choose like right in the moment. Oh, I got to make an audible and blah blah blah.
it's actually better to think less in gymnastics. You don't
Right.
want to think about it. I think this is the only one where you don't have an opponent. Like you're not directly competing
You're
against an
competing
opponent.
against yourself.
Man
Yeah.
versus self is the hardest, I'd say.
I'm just saying, you're going out there and doing the thing all by yourself, so that's
Right.
different. Yeah.
All right, the numbers are in, so let's see what we got. Brando, thank you so much. Official
Brando.
tally, here we go.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go from 10 to 1. Here we are. At number 10, baseball. Yes!
You guys are
win.
insane.
Big win.
Insane.
Home run.
Number 9, wrestling. Number 8, football, which is ridiculous. Shame on all of you. Number 7, gymnastics. Again, Simone, I'm sorry. I voted for you. Tied for fifth, boxing and soccer.
Interesting.
Yeah. At number 4, ice hockey.
Can I just point something out?
You cannot. Number 3, martial arts. And tied for first, basketball and tennis. Now, obviously, we'll have a list right here. So we have to figure out the tiebreakers here.
Court sports.
Court sports, did very well. Court sports. So our first tie, number 5, boxing and soccer. Which one deserves a higher ranking?
Soccer, because they're using their feet.
Boxing uses their feet too, a lot. Footwork is very crucial in boxing.
I know.
I'll give soccer the edge over boxing just because it's like the most international sport and like there's the most people rooting for soccer teams on any day.
So boxing number 5, soccer is number 4, and who gets the number 1 ranking between basketball and tennis?
Basketball. I want a basketball player on any pickup game I'm doing in any sport.
Yeah, I like that.
Can't help you now.
I had him tied. I don't know. I guess we'll go basketball.
Yeah, I got to go basketball. Like, if I picture LeBron trying to learn tennis versus Roger Federer learning basketball, I bet LeBron would be better.
Exactly. Russell Westbrook versus Nadal. Westbrook's a better athlete.
Right.
So.
All right, there you go. Basketball has the most athletic players. We figured it out. Obviously, if you don't agree with us, or most likely you don't agree with Zack Phillips, beside his address in the show notes, put in the comments below what your top 10 is. It might not include any of these sports. You might have fly fishing in there because you're a whack job. Whatever it is, put in the comments below, and we'll read the coolest ones on the extra point next week. My thanks to David Ingber, Caitlin Smith, Zack Phillips. I'm Rob King. Thank you for watching The Extra Point.